Welcome to Stuck in My Mind podcast, the show where we dive into the mind of a regular guy on his road to self-discovery. You'll hear everyday people just like you share the latest topics, personal stories, and things they've learned along the way. And now, please welcome your host, Wise.
And welcome to another episode. I am your host, W-I-Z-E. I have a very special guest. She's a brand strategist. Welcome to the show, Chryssy Robinson. Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Much. What's going on? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's really nice here in Michigan, so I am feeling great.
Yeah, it's a nice day here in Pennsylvania as well. It's melting away the snow that we just got this past Saturday. So
get rid of that snow. That white stuff can go.
Yeah, I'm ready for spring to come. There's things I want to do. There's like some videos that I want to shoot, and the weather's just been screwing me up. So
yes, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for spring, but I'm even more excited for summer. Way more excited for summer.
Listen, as long as it's not snowing, I'm good.
It's the ice for me. It's even the chill though. The chill, like I just need warm. I need sun. I can't.
Yeah, I was supposed to be in Aruba this week, but my wife's job called and we couldn't go. They're opening this new factory, and so
darn. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You gotta stay here with me.
It's fine. It's good. At least I get to do what I love to do. So
right. That's a good point.
All right. So you're a brand strategist. How long have you been doing this, and what made you get into this?
I've been doing this. So Color Addict has been around since 2014. So I think if I do my math, I think that's 8 years. And I kind of just stumbled into it, honestly. So when I was growing up, I didn't even know what a graphic designer was. I didn't have anyone in my family that was doing graphic design. So, or anything in really technology even. And so I was always one of those kids that was really weird. I used to love going to like restaurants, car washes, and I would sit there and like, oh, they should do this and they should do that. And I would think about like all the different ways that they would improve their customer experience. Had no idea I was talking about branding and what branding truly is, which is the experience. And so I've always been creative. So those kind of things just kind of married together and created a perfect little storm for a brand strategist. I had no idea what this even was when I was first getting started. I just was doing it, but didn't have the words to explain what I did. But I actually started Color Addict doing murals. So you see this Batman behind me. It's like a little Batman eating a donut. Can you see that? It's very far, very tiny, right behind my head, right here. So he's eating a donut. For anyone who's listening can't see the video, he's eating a donut and there's like actual sprinkles on there. And I used to do little fun murals like that, like little silly cartoon characters doing really silly things. And then that kind of grew into more digital design. Within getting digital, I started doing like menus and logos and all that fun stuff and playing around with web design. So I've been doing it for a long time now. So that seems very, very far. I don't paint anymore. It's too tedious for me. I'd rather have like an undo button when I make mistakes than like trying to repaint it. So I don't paint anymore, but digital is the way to go for sure.
Oh man, listen, before I started podcasting, I didn't know it like you. I didn't know anything about graphic design. I didn't know anyone who was doing graphic design, any of that. And so I kind of just, when I created the logo that I have right there, I hired someone from Fiverr, however you want to say it. People say it differently from wherever you come from. But so it was me trying to grow a brand because this was something I felt, because all right, the life expense, I'm like, I did my research on becoming a podcaster. So the life expenses, I can't even talk right now, but usually a usual podcaster lasts about 7 to 10 episodes and then they fade away. That's what they usually say when someone does a podcast. And so I was like, okay, if I could get past the 10 episode mark, I'm doing good. And I just started recording and felt like, hey, I enjoy this. I love doing this. This is great being able to communicate with people and talk to people from all over the world and learn at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I just invested in a logo. I invested in a. You heard the intro before we started.
Mm-hmm.
The video I did myself because that now everything I do through Canva. I do all my logos, everything, all my cover art, everything is. I don't have to hire anyone else to do my stuff. I have
I was
Canva.
just I was just joking with my digital brand manager today, and she was like, "Canva does this now," and I was like, "Canva is making it hard for us, like actual graphic designers who use like Illustrator and Photoshop. Like Canva, just stop Canva." I'm just kidding. It's
No,
good though; it empowers everybody to do their own thing, which is I'm all about. I'm all
oh
about.
no, listen, I'm not trying to take anybody's job, but I'm saying if I can, I'm a small business owner, so if I can save money and doing the
Absolutely.
job myself and then come out good, hey, I'm good. And it's fun to do it. Like I said, it's since I've been podcasting, I've got a create like my creative side just kind of like just blew up. So we me and my nephew started a production company. We've done so many things just from starting podcasts.
Yeah, yeah. How many podcasts have you done?
How many have I released?
Mm-hmm.
I've released 142 audio episodes and probably I want to say 30, 40, maybe a little bit less, more. I don't know. Probably like 20 to 30, 40 around there. YouTube videos.
Okay, love
So,
it. So you're well past the 10 mark. You
oh,
did
way
it.
past, well past it.
You
Yeah,
made it.
well past it. And that's not even counting all the ones that like, as far as the audio one, my audio podcast, I'm still have content that I recorded in July of last year.
Mm.
And I have so many episodes. And this is during the time where I was probably recording 6, 7 episodes a week.
Oh wow. Are you still
Yeah.
doing all your own editing right now?
Yes.
You gotta hire that out. It's
I
taking too
know.
long. You're sitting too long on things.
But I'm still releasing. But the thing is, I'm still releasing 2 episodes a week.
Oh wow.
That's what I'm saying. I have so much content that I'm telling you, I was recording. Like at one point, there was like 4 months where I probably was recording every week at least 5, 6 episodes minimum.
So why not just do like seasons?
I don't
Release
know.
the pressure off yourself. Just do
I
like
just
seasons. Then you can organize all the content kind of around different topics and
well,
then
this
that
for
way.
this month, I'm releasing nothing but episodes that I've recorded with women because it's Women's International International
Well,
Women's
thanks.
Month. So this whole month is just dedicated. The audio aspect is just nothing but great women that I've interviewed and had the pleasure of chatting with.
I like that. I like that. I
Yeah,
love it.
it was good. It was great because actually I just had my first speaking engagement. Like it was a former guest of mine. She invited me to speak at an event she had on for International Women's Month. So it was a honor and it was like it just felt so good that someone would want me to speak at one of their events.
Yeah, I love it. That was congratulations. When
Thank
is
you.
that? Or when
Well,
was
it already happened. It was March 7th.
Okay. How'd you do?
I did. I kind of choked up a little.
Did you
Well,
really?
kind of emotion as far as emotions go. It was an emotional topic for me. So
Ah, okay. Okay. I
yeah,
love it though. I love it.
it was great.
We definitely gotta have some more. I didn't do anything for International Women's Month. Nothing at all. Just been head down grinding. Unfortunately, we got a lot of stuff going on. So,
Well, you know what? I have a pass for you for So I'm also part of this network, the Indie Pods,
hmm
and we had a convention in December, and it was awesome. And now we're having a women's event this month. So I would like to give you a free pass. I would like to give
okay.
you
When is
access to
it?
the event. It's March 26th.
Okay. Is it virtual?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I
So
think I
yeah,
work that day too, so
so
I'll be
yeah,
online.
I'll give
That's
it.
a Saturday, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I will be online.
So yes, I will share with you the I'll email you the code and everything.
Sweet. Yes, I get to support now.
Yes, I got like 10 passes that I need to give away.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you're one of them.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love
So
it.
all right. So now let's start talking a little bit more about you.
Okay.
So
What do you want to know?
Brand. So what exactly do you do? What do you do for your clients?
You don't know what I do? No, I'm just kidding.
I
I'm
I
just
I
kidding.
know.
I'm
I'm
just
saying
kidding.
there's people out there
I'm
might not
joking
know.
with you. So I run a creative agency. I actually have two businesses. I run a creative agency. At the creative agency, we do marketing, we do websites, logos, printing, all that fun stuff. I'm a consultant as a brand strategist. And then I also run another company that's a women's empowerment group. And that we have two different packages. We have like an all access pass that's just like the meetups, the boot camps, all that fun stuff, one on one coaching, as well as mentoring. And then we also have just like a Slack community that you can join. So we have two different things with that, but then we also have the creative agency. That's where I spend the majority of my time. I'm a full time entrepreneur. I sit here all day, sometimes every day.
Listen, the life of entrepreneur. Listen, Saturdays and Sundays aren't days off.
Sundays I have for at least the past 3 years are protected days for me. I do not work on Sundays. I have a work phone. This thing is nowhere near me. On Sundays, my team knows do not call me unless it's
Oh
an
no,
emergency.
Sundays. I've kind of that's the designated day for me and my wife because that's the only day we really both share off.
Mm-hmm.
So Sundays we make sure we go and do our thing.
Yep.
Be it go shopping, go eat somewhere, go just it's just our day to go do whatever we're gonna do.
Yeah. Sunday, same for me. It's I call it self care Sunday. So whatever I feel like doing, I literally wake up. I'm like, Chrissy, what do you want to do today? I'm like, let's get a massage, and I go get a whatever comes to my mind. That's what I do on Sundays.
That's
So
good. That's a good way to live. Is to you have to enjoy yourself. You have to enjoy life. Life is
yes,
too short.
yes, life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You gotta enjoy it. You gotta, and
Every moment.
that's why I when I finally took the plunge to do the podcast because obviously I listen. People just get in their own way. So I was in my own way. I was stuck in my own mind. I was making excuses like I don't want to do it because people are not gonna listen to me. I sound funny. Nobody's gonna want to listen to me. I'm a suck. So why do it? And
Mm-hmm.
then finally, I was like, you know what, man, I'm failing now. Why not attempting it? By me not doing it, I'm failing. What? Let me kick in the door and press record, and it
What do you
was
have to
just
lose? Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was
Imposter
first.
syndrome is real. Everybody suffers from it. There's people talking about it, but not in a real like practical sense. Like we're mostly in our own way in the beginning. It's mostly us.
It 99.9999%
Yeah.
it is it
Yeah.
is
We make
and it,
excuses and say, oh, I need marketing, I need sales, I need a website, I need a business card. You don't need any of that. You just need you.
well, even for podcasting, it's like, oh, I don't have fancy equipment, I don't have that. You can use your phone.
Mm-hmm.
There's apps like that. You can record podcasts right to your phone.
Yep.
So there's
Absolutely.
no excuses anymore.
That's
And
really, if you think about all the big businesses too, that's how they started in people's garages, basements. They did not say, oh, I need a building and I need 10 employees. They didn't say any of that. So they're like, I got this idea, this fire and desire in my heart, and I'm going to go for it. That's
yeah,
it.
and yeah, I didn't like. I didn't know. I'm not. I have no shame of saying my age. Will be 46 this year.
Hmm.
And prior to me doing my podcast, I didn't. There were certain things I did love to do, and yeah, that was great. But I was never passionate about anything. I didn't find anything that gave me purpose.
Hmm.
And so when I started podcasting, and I found that I had a voice and that people were listening, that gave me my purpose. That allowed me to find my purpose. It helped me just by sitting down and talking to people and having some great conversations and them sharing their stories and me sharing my stories. I've been able to touch people's lives. I've had people message me telling me about they needed to hear a certain episode and it helped them on their path.
Yeah.
So when I'm able to do that, it makes me feel like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. This is what
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do.
That's because you're impact driven. You want to make an impact. So those things are going to continue to fuel you and keep you going. That's why I push people, especially in the beginning stages of like running a business, to just get out there because 9 times out of 10, you'll help someone. The likelihood of you helping no one is really unlikely. You've got to be like, I mean, you can learn from anyone and anything. I learn from my dog, right? All the time, you know? And so the likelihood of you touching someone is very likely. And usually that is what will keep you going and going. But sometimes, again, we get stuck in our minds and we won't push past that point. And so you got to just push past it, get out there, and then you'll get that positive feedback, that reinforcement, and you'll keep going and going and going. And then it'll become addicting, right? You'll keep getting out there.
Yeah, no. This has driven me to get back into self improvement. I had strayed away from it for some time, and by me going back into me going into doing the podcast, it's driven me to start reading more. It's helped. It started. I've taken courses every day. I'm taking like a different course and learning something new. YouTube is one of my favorite channels. Is one of my favorite
YouTube
websites because
University.
yeah, listen, I go. It helped me find what editing program was right for me, what cameras, what mics, whatever, everything. There's a review for everything,
Yes.
and
And
so
a
when I
comparison. I
yeah
love the comparison videos.
yeah,
Like, oh, if you're looking for this, get this thing. That's how I found my webcam. I watched a couple
what kind of
comparison
webcam do you
videos.
have?
I have a Logitech uh
922 stream, yeah,
stream cam. Yep.
yeah.
You got
I
it.
have the same
Yeah.
one.
Well,
The one I'm using right now is my Canon, but yes, I do have my that's my other camera. That's it right. This is it right here. Let's
yep, I can tell. Oh no, mine's different. I wish I
yeah.
could show you.
Oh,
Mine is the stream cam one where you can go live.
off the cam itself.
Hmm. I haven't used that feature. It just had a better, like a slightly better camera and better color to it too. But yeah,
Hmm, that's good.
definitely. Well, I love those things on YouTube and YouTube University. I mean, that's how I taught myself a lot of things. Anytime I run into an issue, YouTube and Google, here I come.
Those are the two biggest search engines. One that's where you got to go. So
Yeah, and Instagram's making its way there too. So watch out for Instagram.
oh yeah, no, I'm working my way towards. I'm releasing reels and stories and stuff like that, but I do need to put some more effort into Instagram.
Instagram's great. I'm trying to tell you, it's going to take over. Mark my words. It's going to take off. I always joke with people, but Instagram is the biggest thief in social media. It literally steals from all the platforms. It stole like longer captions and stuff. That's from Twitter. Remember, in the beginning of Instagram, it was a limit,
Yeah,
right? It stole reels from TikTok. It stole stories from Snapchat. It stole IGTV from YouTube. It's literally, oh, and the guides are from LinkedIn. So it's literally pulling all these different features from other platforms to try to get you. The shop, of course, is replacing websites, right? So now you can have the e-commerce store. It's literally pulling everything. And the hashtags, you can now follow hashtags, and hashtag games are just crazy now. You can just really start to monopolize on hashtags. Like, it's going to take over. People are going to start using Instagram to search for things. Like, I would probably argue in the next like 3 to 5 years, you're going to start seeing a lot of people say, check Instagram, if they're not already doing it to you today,
oh
right?
yeah,
If it's like, I know if I'm looking for a new restaurant to look up, sometimes I do Google restaurants near me, but it comes up like all the stuff I know. Check Instagram.
mm. They got the exclusive ones probably.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, it's gonna take over. Watch. Instagram is doing an amazing job. An
You
amazing.
learn you learn different things every time. Like and it seems it's YouTube is it's well, they're doing whatever supposedly they did. Well, not supposed, but they did release something recently they're going to help towards gearing podcasters because right now it's more uh when there's the how to's and certain videos that really do go viral on YouTube. So to be able to just somehow help podcasters because people who listen to podcasts right
Yeah.
now, audio podcasts are booming, and so if you can be able to help that translate to YouTube as well,
Mm-hmm.
it's a win-win for you.
Yeah, and a lot of people just post their podcasts on YouTube anyway.
Yeah.
So why not? Like I know what you're saying, like the discoverability of podcasts on YouTube is like subpar. Unless you're directing people there, you're really not gonna come up on anyone's feed that's like a you may also like this
Yeah.
unless
Yeah.
you listen to other podcasts that are similar on YouTube. But for the
Yeah.
most part, they're not going to like put you up in the algorithm. So it's good that they're actually working on that.
Yes. I'm happy about that. And listen, there's things that are gonna help as far as marketing and branding that all these platforms are gonna start putting out to cater to content creators because right now people consuming content like crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not one of those people, but definitely, people definitely consume a crap ton of content. Like one of the facts I love to throw out there is that we actually scroll the length of the Eiffel Tower every day. The length.
Wow.
That's how much we're doing this. The average
That's
person.
kind of that's kind of the Eiffel Tower is pretty tall.
Yeah, yeah. Eiffel Tower, and then also the I want to say the last time I looked at it was like the Empire State Building, one or the two. But you can
It's
look
still
up
a
the
lot.
fact
Yeah,
somewhere.
that's still a lot. Yeah.
It's still a lot. Like, could you imagine running your finger up that building?
I'm just like imagine like some people don't have like thumbs that are just dropping off right now.
I know, right? These things are fast. Well, we can technically have the warm up if you remember, like video games. So that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like the
Well,
warm up
yeah.
to
You
this.
kind of, I guess, you kind of broke them in by
Yeah,
playing
we
your
broke
video
them in a
game
little bit.
because that's where you really caught the spasms when you was
Then
playing your video
texting,
games for
remember the old
hours.
phones, like the little razors and
Yeah,
Blackberries?
yeah. The
Yeah, we warmed
little
these
flip
things up.
phones where they had the keypad and all that. Yeah. I guess there was preparing us for the swiping.
Yes, scroll century, scroll. I
Yeah,
always tell people that prioritize because the older way we used to do websites, we used to have like a bunch of pages for everything. Now single landing pages or just one page and just scrolling is really the way to go. People will scroll all day long. I don't want to like be clicking a bunch of stuff.
clicking on pages. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
that makes sense.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense. And that's how I guess we have it on the website for the that we built for the radio station is pages, but the one we have for the production company is is swipe. Is you don't have to go to pages. So
Yeah. Yeah, especially if it's not a lot of content. I see a lot of people sometimes they'll build their site and then what they'll do is they'll have like a small paragraph on an about and they'll stick that on a new page. Like put that on the same page. You know, why make someone click into that? Do you want them to see it or not? It really just depends on the platform and the audience too. You know, depending on who
yeah,
your audience is, you might want to get a little bit more long form. People do still read. I don't. But people do still read. Do you read? Do you read like
yes,
blogs and newsletters and stuff?
not really. I read more audio. I'm not audio, but I read more Kindle for my Kindle and regular books.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, books for sure, but like as far as like consuming content, they some are arguing that like the more like written stuff is dying and pushing video.
Yeah, well, video king is king right now. Like as far as there's so many things people learn through video. There's things there's something for everything. Like, hey, I have a certain light blown and certain, and I go to YouTube and put whatever description I got to put in, and it pops up.
Yeah, for sure. There's literally you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many like random videos there are, and there's like 10 people on there like, thank you for this.
So I got a funny story. So a friend of mine at work, we was just having a conversation, and she said something about underwater basket weaving, and I'm like, you're not the first person I hear mention underwater basket weaving. I'm like, is that really a thing? She's like, I don't know. It's just a saying that I would say. And so she messaged me, and they actually have underwater basket weaving.
Cut it out.
I'm like,
I'm gonna have to look
seriously?
that up.
Yeah, no, it was because I was taking a course, and Sean Cannell from Think Media mentioned, hey, if you have a channel on underwater basket weaving, maybe it's probably not really the thing right now. But I'm saying that there is a underwater
You can
basket
find it. You
weaving.
can build an audience around anything.
You can, you
If
can.
I said I wanted to, build an audience around pink puppies, and I had all these puppies and little cute pink hats, people would like come out the woodworks. So
So
you'd be
you sold the pink
surprised.
pumpies?
That's my next business.
Oh, okay.
TBD. Coming soon. Pink puppies. And then part two, pink cats. Purple cats.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be
Now see,
surprised. You'd be surprised.
I
I
think
have
that
some
that
really weird businesses, honestly.
oh, listen,
Not me, but my clients. My businesses are pretty boring. Mine are pretty straightforward. Nothing too fancy.
listen. There's a need for something, man. Everybody's always looking for something, and you'd be amazed at what people look. Man, somebody sold the pet rock.
Exactly.
If you could sell a rock and people go out and buy it, when you could just went outside and picked yourself up a rock and probably cleaned it off and put
And
markers
named
for it.
it.
Yeah, like people actually went and bought a pet rock.
Yep. It's all
So
about branding,
it
branding and
is.
marketing.
It is.
If
And
you
but it's
understand
always been
your,
like that. It's always been like that. Like
yes,
commercials, they always is so yeah, you
yeah.
gotta have to
I was gonna say the thing is about a brand is you have one whether you like it or not. So brands have always been around since the beginning of time. So what we
yeah,
do is like brand strategists is as like if I'm working with an entrepreneur, right, and you have an intention for your brand, we cannot say what your brand is. Your brand is developed by your like your customer's gut perception of who you are. It's their reputation type of thing. It's what they
yeah,
think about you. But you can set out and set attention, right? So that's where the strategy piece comes in. So if you want people to look at you as a luxury brand, then there are things that we can do to help them perceive that this is luxury. We do not set the brand. That does not exist. That's a misnomer. Brand is experience, is personality, right? How you perceive me right now is completely different than how the next person will. But my goal, right, as a person, is to show up consistent and to show up like 100%, so that everybody kind of has the same brand of who Chryssy is, right? And I'm just talking about if you think about a business as an entity, it's the same thing, right? I like to boil it down like that because I think a lot of people are talking about brands and they're getting way too like technical with it. But you got one whether you like it or not, whether you invested a penny in it, you have one.
oh no, I know.
Oh,
I've,
not
I've
you, but
I
like,
know I know you're
yeah.
not talking to me. I'm just but I've learned. I'm saying doing the podcast, I've learned a lot, and
Mhm.
yeah, I am a brand. I've started treating myself like that. I've trademarked and copyrighted a lot of things.
Mhm.
So it's things, but you learn these things. These things people don't learn. These are things people
Yeah.
don't know. Like I said, I do my research, I do my reading, and I've trademarked and copyrighted things that I needed to copyright
Mhm.
to protect my brand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially for as a new brand, you want to kind of protect, especially like things like intellectual property. That's something a lot of people don't talk about. It's how you protect that stuff.
Yeah.
So if you haven't done that, especially if you're like a coach or consultant and you have these tools and tips and strategies, you want to start figuring out how you can protect some of those things as well.
Mhm. Now that you mentioned coaching, I actually I've took a course. I've been taking a course for probably four. It was supposed to be an 8-week course. I've took me a little bit longer because life. And I finally finished it about a week ago.
Hmm.
And so it was, and I took it because of the podcast and because I just felt there was something that I wanted to learn and experience and be able to, when I do have coaches on, be able to relate and understand to what they're talking about
Hmm.
a little bit more. So it was something that I felt I needed for me as to grow as a person.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the number one lesson you learned?
What's
What's
the number?
something that like shocked you?
It's not. You know what? It wasn't that much that shocked me because that's I've man, I've been reading and learning for such a long time that it just made me realize that I'm the reason I'm not where I'm supposed to be at
Hmm.
because of the choices and decisions I made,
Yep.
especially knowing what I know. It was like mm, it was kind of like a punch in the gut, telling you like, dude, you know your thing, and yet you continue to do the same. So it's those things, and being able to take these courses, and a lot of it helps me reflect and look inside and be like, I need to start applying these things to my life ASAP, like right now.
Absolutely. And it's less really about like choices and decisions because those are the actions, but understanding the mindset that drove you to those choices and decisions. A lot of times it's mindset correction that actually needs to be done. Like when I changed my mindset around money, when I tell you doing that one thing, I'm talking make it rain. Okay. Like, listen, it's huge difference. When you change your
Because
mindset around money, we're told so many false
oh yeah,
myths.
like money is the root of all evil. That's one of the biggest ones
Hmm.
that will make sure that money does not come into your life.
Yep.
If you really truly believe that, then you will never see
Yep.
money.
Or
Never.
money is something that you have to work really hard for. So
No.
you'll think like, oh, I have to work really, really hard, therefore I can't make it. It's a lack mindset. Just believing
And,
that money is abundant will take you so far.
no, and you know what it is? Because I've like since doing the podcast, there have been times like I sold the logo. No lie, I probably spent 30 minutes on it,
Hmm.
and it was a good logo, really good. The person paid me $250.
Hmm.
30 minutes of work.
Hmm.
People and it wasn't really hard. It wasn't difficult.
I'm laughing because I remember those days. I don't sell $250 logos anymore.
Listen, I'm just
I
starting
got
out.
you. I got
Okay, okay.
you. You'll get there, young
Don't
grasshopper.
don't judge me.
Listen. When I first started logo design, I was doing $50 logos. Mind you, this was years ago, so it's probably about the same. But $50 logos, and I was doing nine concepts,
You was giving them
nine
Oh,
concepts.
you too nice.
What it is, a lot of creatives do this. It's actually a lot of people do this. Basically, when you're creative, you can't stop.
I
So you
know.
get an
Yeah,
idea and then you
you
go in
create a
and
bunch of
go in. And
you
then
create a
you don't
bunch
know
of
what to
them.
give your client. So you just
Yeah,
give them everything. You say choose.
yeah.
Don't do that.
I know that. I know. I've realized that.
Yeah.
I've come to that realization. Yes, but
Yeah. I had
these
to
are
learn
things.
that the hard way for sure.
Oh, and that. But see, the thing was, I didn't. I learned it from when I was purchasing stuff. Like when I was purchasing logos and stuff like that, and they limited how many revisions, how many concepts. They probably sent me 2 or 3 concepts with
Yeah.
watermark logos all over them
See,
to
I
make
didn't
sure.
have that. I never had to buy a logo from anyone. I was always doing my own stuff. Because I've always had the mentality, which I don't anymore, because I've had to break that habit. Because when you're a solopreneur and you're like trying to build your team, you got to get out of the habit of like, I can do it myself. So now I have no problem with delegating. But back in the day, I would be like, oh, yeah, I need a logo. Like our current logo, I actually did not design. That's actually hands off, not even me, a whole nother designer. But back in the day, I was doing all my own stuff just because I was like, oh, I can do it myself. Don't do it yourself. You're just going to get it in your own head, especially when you're building your own brand. I don't recommend doing your own logo.
No, that one right there, the one in the corner up, I didn't do that. I paid someone to do it. I love it. And
the only thing is, have you got it printed?
yes.
So you have a different version of it, I'm sure.
As far as what?
What kind of printing did you get it done?
What do you mean?
Did you do any embroidery or
yes,
vinyl?
I have embroidered some T-shirts and some embroidered T-shirts and stuff.
Really? That exact logo?
Yes.
It's got to cost you crazy because that's actually what's there is actually an image, and they can't embroider that. So you've got too many tones in the microphone.
He did a good job.
He toned it down.
He did a good job.
Yeah, he must have made it all one color or something because you can't change tones and stuff, and there's no like multicolored thread.
I have one around. I have one around, and I just can't get up. You know what? Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, let's see it.
All right, everybody.
Short break. We're back.
Quick intermission. We're back. So
let's see.
Which way? I gotta see.
Doing a little weird thing. Yeah, he's got. So you see how you don't have the two tone in your colors?
Yeah,
he had to scale it back a little bit.
Of course, he couldn't make it exactly like it, but I was happy.
It looks good though. You got a good embroider.
Yes,
for sure.
It's actually a friend of mine, and I wanted to support his business, so I purchased. I went and got the shirts myself from where did I get them from? I know it was probably a bulk T-shirt website.
Bulk apparel.
Yeah, bulk. Actually, yes, bulk apparel.
Yeah,
so and I purchased them and then had them embroidered.
Yeah, I like it. I love printing. It's very interesting. A lot of times when people design logos, they have to kind of have either multiple versions or just design one that's a little bit more scaled back. For like gradients, you can't do embroidery. You can't really print a gradient at all. And then I tell people that all the time, and then they're like, "Your logo has a gradient." I'm like, "I have a different version that we print. Don't worry. Like I have access to unlimited designers. I have a creative team of 13, so I am not by any means like hurting for designers. But yeah, we can do that. But unless you want to keep paying people for different versions, you got to figure out. If you look at all the big brands too, something I just thought about. They all have really simple. Look at Target's logo, Nike's logo. You could draw Nike's logo right now. You don't even have to be a designer. They're simple marks.
Yeah, they keep it simple.
Yeah. Logo design is very interesting. Me personally, I don't think it's something that we should really focus on, especially in the newer stages. But when you do your first rebrand, like after the first like 3 or 4 years, you'll learn a lot about your brand. And so you'll be able to give much more insight into your logo and much more like strategy and direction for it. Like when I first did my very first logo, it was terrible. It was like paint splatter and color addict. And then the K's were like backwards. And then my business card had like jack of all trades. Literally, it was bad. I could probably find one. It was bad. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was really, really bad. I always talk about them, and I told myself I was going to put one nearby so I can show it. It was so bad.
Well, my business cards now aren't that bad.
Yours aren't?
Yeah, no. They're simple. They're simple.
My newest ones are, but
they're just simple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, you should get fun. I mean, business cards now they've upped their game, and I always tell people, pro tip: business cards usually end up in the trash unless you put some type of like incentive on there. So even if it's like I don't know, for you it's going to be a little bit different because you're a podcast, but like maybe for your production company, you could do like your first show free or something. I don't know, whatever you come up with. But people, if you put something on there, they'll actually keep it in their mind. It tricks them. It tricks them into thinking like this is now a coupon or a promo. I'm gonna hold on to this
Oh
versus
yeah,
a
like
business
if you get
card.
a 10%, if I could put it like a 10% affiliate code on there, like the 10% to Amazon, because I do have a couple of Amazon affiliate codes I can use. So
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And all your equipment that I'm sure people are asking you about, what's your mic? I'm sure you got affiliate codes for that. Do you got that stuff on your website?
yes,
Okay, cool. Cool.
yeah,
Just go right
I'm
on
learning.
there.
I'm learning. Yeah, I'm
You're
learning.
learning.
I'm
Good. I
learning.
love it. I love it.
I'm
Always
learning.
make sure, you know, you never know.
Oh no, listen, I had I had a couple that they're brand strategists, and when I had them on, they're like, "So you don't do video?" And I'm like, "No, I don't do video." I said, "Not yet. I'm waiting." Like, "Oh, so you don't do video?" I'm like, "No, no. So you don't do video?" Yes, I do video. Record. Here you go. They're like, there you go. You're coachable. Yes, that's what we like. And
Yes.
since that episode, I do video.
Beautiful. That's good. You
Yeah.
got a lot of people who are kind of like stuck in their way, in their own way, right? They're like, no, I'm not good on camera. Or I'm a better writer. But you got to do what works. You got to do what works for your audience. You know, if your audience are readers, then don't even worry about video.
Oh
But
no, but see, my channel is doing pretty well. I'm over 2,000 subscribers. Probably over 20,000 views now. So I'm excited.
yeah.
I'm a few probably about 700 watch hours away from monetization. So I'm excited.
Okay, you got this. You're almost there. You're almost there. Like
Yes.
that's what you do 60-minute episodes, so that's like
You know, it varies. Depends on depends on who I'm talking to.
okay.
If sometimes we'll do 30 minutes, but then when they're really entertaining and I'm having a good time talking to them, and we have a good connection, then it might just go to an hour.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
so you should bump it out a little bit, then you'll get to your 700 much faster. The more content you put out or the better content you
Well,
put out,
well, I
probably.
am putting. I'm probably releasing two videos a week. So maybe should
Okay.
I push it up to three? No, two.
Yeah,
I'll
you
say I
should.
think two is doing pretty good. That like with the last two videos, three they've all got over 2,000 views. So
How long does it take you to get like from, oh, let's see if you know this, from ideation to production, like produced?
as far okay, so how long does it take me to like the work?
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, the hour to record.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it doesn't take me long to edit because
Mm-hmm.
it goes real smooth and so and not having to put intro to add an intro and outro and I do all that through StreamYard. So I would say probably 2 hours
2 hours for editing or 2 hours total?
total.
2 hours total. And you still backed up till July? What are you doing?
No, that's my audio. As far as video, not
Oh,
that
because you changed your process. You're doing video now. So video
yes,
made your life easier.
yes.
Shout out to those two brand strategists.
It's made life so much easier.
Okay. Well,
And now,
good.
but I still have the audio. I still have a lot of audio that I need to get out. So
Yeah.
I'm editing. I'm getting at least 2 out a week. So
Okay.
I'm getting caught up. I'm almost into August.
Are you doing like a batch style or are you
Yes,
doing like one by one?
yes. I'm doing. I'm scheduling it. I'm scheduling them. I'm batching the schedules. Yes, so it's like I have one scheduled to come out tomorrow, and then the next one I have probably like 3 days, 4 days after.
Okay. What are you doing with your audience? Are you monetizing them in any other way?
I'm trying to get them to my Patreon page. I'm trying to build that up.
What's Patreon got to offer?
As far as what percentage?
Mm-mm. Well, like, what's the incentive?
Oh well, if they go join the Patreon, some free merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
What else? There's exclusive videos,
Mm-hmm.
exclusive audios. Um, a couple of other things I just can't remember them at the moment.
That was your plug.
I'm gonna,
That was the opportunity. You
that was
missed
the
it.
opportunity for them to check me out. Oh man,
Look at the link in the description when this is posted and go sign up for his Patreon.
yeah,
There'll be
it's
more
gonna
detail.
definitely be in the description. Definitely now. Well, I put it in on all episodes, so
Okay, gotcha. But just make sure it's not there's some type of incentive, and one that your audience. Do you know who your audience is? Like, who are you targeting with this podcast?
it's there. My audience age varies. It goes from probably like 33 to 50.
So that tells me, my dear, that you are talking about your analytics, not your audience.
Oh, you mean as far as if men or women?
Nope.
What do you mean?
So your audience has nothing. A lot of people make this misconception. So your audience has nothing to do with your analytics. Your audience, again, right, when it comes to branding, is who you set out to attract. So it has nothing to do with like demographics. Demographics, which are like age, sex, where
Oh,
they are, that plays a
so
very small factor.
you mean as far as my audience as what information they're seeking as far as
Who are they? What do they want?
are they
What are they looking
are
for?
they the type that are seeking to self develop and grow and all this stuff?
What are the problems that they want to solve?
Oh,
You
this
need
is
to.
true.
What are the problems? Name a few. If you know. I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
What are the problems my listeners have?
Yeah, what do they have? What are the problems?
Oh man, let's see. Some of them are afraid to start a business.
Okay.
So to be able to hear and to be able to listen to entrepreneurs speak who were in their shoes at one time, it helps
Mm-hmm.
them out. Um, what else? See, you're making me think right now. I'm not supposed to be thinking of.
I know, it's kind of flipped around. I'm interviewing you.
Whose show is this?
This is a Chryssy takeover.
And that's gonna be the title of the episode.
I really encourage you to do the work, though. Trust me, it'll make everything much. I literally was just in a call with the client earlier. It'll make I promise you, literally, hands down, will make everything clear. It will literally set fire to your path. When I did this work in my own, just to tell a quick story about my own journey, I was doing those $50 logos, right? So I had a transition from corporate, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna give myself 3 months to make what I made in corporate. I did, but I killed myself doing it. Of course, $50 logos trying to replace the salary, right, with all kinds of benefits. I did it, but I killed myself doing it. So I asked myself, how can I do this and really scale it up? And that's why I said pricing mindset and like your money stories and all that stuff is really important. But more importantly, knowing the problem you solve. So here's what I did. I was mentoring with all these different people, talking to all these like entrepreneurs, successful, different stages, whatever. And they were all like, you got to do your target market research. But no one really knows what that is. Like, I'm sure someone's told you that, and you okay, I look at my analytics. This is what they say it is, and this is my target market. No, that's not it. So target market research is actually the practical, actionable way I like to tell people to do it is interviewing your client and or customer. So you're going to sit down with them. You are not supposed to sell at all. I don't even care if the opportunity comes out. We'll schedule a call for that later, right? You're just supposed to understand who they are. So what are your challenges? What's your number one thing? What's keeping you up at night? What are you Googling? Who are you listening to? What podcast do you chime into? Who is a big person that like let's say the role models, right? Ask those type of questions to understand who they are on a personal level. And when I did this work for myself, I realized my clients didn't really care about they didn't care about the logo or the business card. They were like, I'm trying to grow and scale my business. They were worried about growth and exposure. And so I literally pivoted my business from that point on, from graphic designer to brand strategist, because that was something I actually was doing anyway, but didn't know how to like package it. And so now I turned my business from, let me create you this pretty logo that isn't going to do anything for you, to let's build you an online presence that's going to produce results. I'm results driven always. I turn down work all the time if it's not going to give you a return on investment as an entrepreneur. I promise you, doing this work, everything else will get clear. You'll be like, oh, I'm going to do this workshop and speak at this thing because it makes sense strategically for my brand, because these are my audience members and they're going to be looking for me here. And I'm going to, for example, that workshop you were just at when you were that first speaking engagement, it could have been a brand alignment where maybe you can now start promoting the podcast, or maybe you could have had some other spinoff from there. But right now, because it's still kind of fuzzy, we're just kind of connecting with all types of people, you know?
Well, okay. I should correct it. I'm not connecting with all time. It is a set. Okay, so lately I've been sitting down more with coaches and strategists than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So
but is it for, are you hoping that they can give your audience some strategy on building their website? Not website, their business.
I'm selfish. It's for me. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You just have all these free consultations. Like, tell me how I can do
it. It's for me. It's all for me.
I should do a podcast like that and interview like big executives.
And you listen. This doing the podcast has been a blessing. I've been able to sit down with people like yourself and have some great conversations and learn.
Yeah.
So at one point I thought it was selfish. I was seriously thought it was selfish on my part. And a guest made me realize that no, that is self-love. You're wanting to grow and develop. So it's self-love. It's not being selfish.
Yeah.
So, and then plus you're providing the service to your listeners.
Exactly.
So because you're not the only one learning. You're also, your audience is also learning. So
I'm gonna leave you with one thing. Okay. So I have a live. I really need to redo it because it's all the way down at the bottom. All the way down at the bottom. But I did a live. Huh? I'm gonna tell you all the way down at the bottom of my IGTV on Instagram, where I talked about how to build client profiles. If you do that exercise, it will really help you. And that's for everyone, by the way, but it will really help you like get very narrow on your audience, where like you'll be rocking, you'll know products, you'll like, for example, that Patreon, you can be like, they need this, they need that, they need this, sign up. This is for you. This is built. Just, you ever, like some of those courses you've taken, have you ever read a page and been like, oh my gosh, how do they know? How do they know everything I'm struggling with? It's because they literally have you written down on a piece of paper. They're like, Wise needs this. He's struggling here. Let's market to him, right? Someone knows you that good. They know exactly where you are, where they're going to market the heck to you and make you sign up for all these different courses and things. So you got to get that same way with your audience, so that not from like a salesy, like pushy type of person, but just so that you can really show up and make the impact that you are really striving to make, right? You're impact driven, my dear. The fact that like you getting choked up and teary, like, oh my gosh, I touched these people. You're impact driven for sure. So
it wasn't that much. Okay.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with it.
I'm joking. I'm just I have to have fun and enjoy this, and it's fun it's fun when you have someone that has great energy and they can laugh and have a good time with you. So
exactly, that's what I'm here for.
All right, so now it's time for you to go plug away and for you to do your plug.
Yeah, let's plug. So we got a lot of things, but I'm gonna direct people to my website because we do free workshops, free trainings. We have a whole freebie vault, so coloraddict.com. It's on the screen there, but I'm gonna spell it for those who are listening. KOLORADDIKT.com. If you go to /freebies, you can get some free stuff. We got like pricing calculators if you know how to price your products and services. We have a social media calendar. We have all kinds of things. But definitely check out my website because we have a lot of fun like workshops and all kinds of things going on. We got too much for me to say in this show. But if you want to book a call with me, you can definitely click that big pink button at the top that says book online.
All right. And then, so definitely check out her website. Get the freebies. Freebies are always good. So definitely go check out the freebies.
Free resources. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Hey, listen, I encourage them to go get the freebies.
Right? Learn as much as you can on your own. Right? When you're just getting started, learn as much as you can on your own. Fail forward, right? If you mess it up, at least you can come to me and say, hey, I messed it up, fix this. Right? Versus like, I haven't touched it.
All right. But don't leave. But it's been great having you on, but don't leave just yet. All right. So now it is time for shout outs. Big shout outs to my Real Wise fam, Poppy J, Brandy J. Love you guys. Big shout out to the boss lady, Fina. And big shout out to my guest, Chryssy, for being on the show. She was awesome. And as always, a big shout out to all the essential workers out there. God bless y'all. Be safe. And you know how your boy Wise does it. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Listen on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, and TuneIn. Find us on social media on Twitter at @wise_b_blunt, Instagram at @wise_b_blunt, and a Facebook fan page, www.facebook.com/wise76. Check back soon for new episodes. Until next time, peace out.